sure everything is clean, it looks like. We thank you for joining us on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. We thought there was going to be pouring thunderstorms. We're in the forecast for majority of the week, but it's sunny and 70 as Fayetteville-Manlius is on the break. That's Ness dumping it off. Who's that?
That's
Shot
Shanley.
Save. Shanley. Great save, though, by Brecken Catalano. Shanley had the advantage, I thought, but Catalano just got his stick in front of it.
Yeah, he kind of hesitated and tried to come back towards the middle of the field. I thought right when he had the ball there right by the net, he could have just ripped a shot early, but decided to wait, and it just didn't pay off. But some good early looks for Shanley.
So Panthers now have their first offensive possession of the game. Now currently Jack Wallace with the ball.
A snag.
Up top, moving it around, number 18, Ben DiGiovanni, a Dartmouth commit for the Panthers. This Panther squad is a very experienced team. They are, how do you think, Tate, what do you think the Panthers, what do you assess of their season so far?
Kind of a disappointment, especially, I mean, last year was the first time they weren't in a Class A Section 5 championship since 2014, so there's a lot of tradition here, and last year they finished 9-9, and right now they're 4-3, so they got to get back to their winning ways as their storied tradition. And Andrew Whipple, head coach, is trying to guide them back there, but so far they're sitting fourth in the Monroe League, and it's not where they want to be right now.
A game that might be considered a must-win because you don't want to drop to 500.
No.
But now, after the costly turnover by the Panthers, Fayetteville has the ball again. Casey Miller dumping off to Jordan Lucy. Back to Miller. Miller looking for something over to Lucy on the wing. Back to Miller, playing a little back and forth action. Cadriano, back to Miller. So far, it looks like Fayetteville-Manlius is keeping the ball more on the in front of the net, not going behind to the X position very much at all. Cadriano inside, shot no good by Max Kramer. He had a one-on-one with the goaltender, it just went a little wide, and they will switch to Panther possession.
Yeah, good hustle there by goalkeeper Brecken Catalano, to bust down and get possession for the Pittsford Panthers.
Play resumes. Catalano looking for someone, and he'll just walk the dog, if you will, going up the field. No one's going to guard him, might as well. And he finally dumps it off to Sammy Tomliaris. Tomliaris making some moves through the Fayetteville-Manlius, but finally coughs it up. No one's picking up the ball. Fayetteville-Manlius had 4 guys, and it took a while until Max Kramer picked it up.
Yeah, great D there by Max Kramer, punching the ball loose.
And it forces Fayetteville-Manlius to go all the way back to their goalkeeper, Ben Hammond. And he's just telling us, get out of the way and I'll find someone. Finally does dump it off to Casey Miller. Miller, one-on-one, looking for something. Pokes, comes back out, over to Kramer. Kramer swinging it to Nestor. Back to Kramer. Oh, back and forth like semi-pro. Jackie Moon, if anyone gets that reference. Miller. Inside, pass was tipped, and it will go out of bounds back into possession of the Hornets. Time possession is key if you want to win.
Yeah, there's a tough bring one here.
Nestor over to Josh Michael. Ball is loose and on the ground will be. It was last touched by the Panthers. Remains in Hornets possession.
The Hornets just wearing Pittsford down on defense.
And early on, too, that will be interesting to see how that game plan continues to unfold throughout this over the course of this game. It's still early, 5:25 remaining in this first quarter.
Yeah, plenty of time left, but if you're Pittsford, you can't allow the Hornets just to walk around you and play passes and just allow them to have their way against you.
What I'm finding very interesting about the Hornets, they're showing great patience. They're not just firing wild shots, even if they think they might have a lane. They're trying to see if someone will get open. Kramer trying to make a little move, but he comes back out. Over to Nestor. Already got 1 goal on the game. It's 1-0 if you're just tuning in. Tyler Melito alongside Tate Stigworth. Ben Shepler is our cameraman / producer. Doing a very good job. I know he can't hear me, but nonetheless.
Still give him some love.
Yeah, gotta give him love. Ben Kramer shot off the bounce and good. Max Kramer Makes it now a 2-0 game. 4:41 remaining in the first quarter. Beautiful shot by Kramer off the bounce. Tate, what did you see there?
It kind of pulled up, kind of hesitated there at the last second, put it on the ground. It's a bounce shot. It's incredibly hard for lacrosse goalkeepers to deal with because you don't know how it's going to hop, if it's going to ride up low, go up high. So yeah, it's always very effective, and Max Kramer does it there beautifully.
Very interesting to see. Kramer thought that a Pittsford defender was going to come up in front of him. He saw no one was. He just gripped it and ripped it. And now his team has a 2-0 lead. Still early, though. Things could change. As we mentioned before, Fayetteville-Manlius is 5-1 on the year. What have you seen so far out of this squad, Tate?
Patience. It's been all patience so far. It's been all Manlius so far. As we said, they're just passing around, walking around on offense, finding the easy pass, not forcing anything, which is always smart if you're just playing free and easy and not trying to force anything.
Pittsford they did end up winning the face-off, but it looked like a player slipped. That was Parker Hyatt. And Pittsford calls a timeout. So 4:30 remaining here in this first quarter of play. It's been all Fayetteville-Manlius so far. Manlius, excuse me. So far, what do you think Pittsburgh needs to do to turn this thing around a little bit?
A little more high pressure, I think, on defense. You don't want to open yourself up in front of net, obviously. But just don't allow Fayetteville-Manlius Hornets just to walk around at the 30-yard line and just kind of pass back and forth and wait for an entry pass of some kind. Put the pressure on them, see if they make the mistake and force an errant pass and get a turnover and get possession for yourself, because it's been all Hornets so far. Pittsford hasn't had really any time of possession. But, I mean, luckily for them, it's still only a 1-0 game. You're certainly not out of it, and there's certainly plenty of time left to change things up and change the tide of the game.
Very interesting indeed. We'll see if what the coaching staff of Pittsford tells his squad to do. If you're tuning in, thank you very much. It's on CNY Stream. You can follow all of our Central New York action on Twitter at CNY Stream and on our website, cnystreet.com. Archives of former games, our schedule, everything Central New York sports. So Pittsford will have possession. Up top, moving the ball around nicely. Danny Judge swings it over. He gets it back. Over to Ben DiGiovanni. Pittsford taking a page out of Fayetteville's book right now. Sonny Imbiguria.
Good move.
Good move coming around. Push off, and they will call it. No goal.
Oh.
Ward against the Panthers.
Yeah, that was Sonny Imburgia driving. Got called for it. Kind of unlucky, but I definitely see where the referee's coming from on that one.
It was a good move, though, nonetheless. But now Fayetteville has possession once again. Kramer up top. Kramer thought about firing. Swings it around. Quick touches. They're not keeping the ball very stagnant at all. Kramer has it once again. And he'll go up to the top of the key. Kramer dumps it off. Luke Diano tried to find Mike Howe, but just threw it away. And it'll go into Panther possession. 3:05 remaining here in this first quarter of play.
And no damage done there for the Panthers.
No.
Didn't give up a goal, but if you just keep letting the Hornets do that and just work time off the clock, it's going to come back to bite you.
And it looks like the Pittsford player stepped out of bounds off the turnover, so we'll go back to Fayetteville. Costly turnover right there. Careless turnover, if you ask me. Mike Howe has the ball. Looking for something. Swings it over to Luke Diano. Over to Shanley. Back to Diano. Diano shot. Fired. Saved by Catalano. And Pittsford looking to push.
Yeah, tried for the bottom corner there, but Catalano had it all covered up.
Great job there. Pushing right now is Tommy Birmingham for the Panthers, and it now ends up in the possession of Ben Giovanni, excuse me. Imbiguria, one-on-one, trying to make something happen. The Binghamton commit Shot fired a little wide. It will remain Pittsford ball. Ryan Dermott with it now. The Oswego commit. A lot of guys that are committed to various schools across the country. Currently, there are 33 Pittsford players. They're Pittsford graduates that are playing college lacrosse, and they're not just at small schools. You got guys playing at Ohio State, Penn State, Virginia. A shot fired and scored by Ben DiGiovanni, the Dartmouth commit. And now it's a 2-1 game with a minute 51 remaining here in this first quarter.
Yeah, it was a great goal. Just found the angle, found the little slice in the defense that he could burst through, and he found himself right in front of goal, and you're not really missing from there many times. That's a great move and a great goal.
Great move indeed. Went low. Goalie couldn't reach down, and now we just cut the lead in half. Not much time of possession so far for the Panthers, but nonetheless, it's only a 1-goal game. Here we go on the face-off once again. No team has cleanly grabbed the face-off. Immediately, it's been a little bit of a scuffle, excuse me, once the whistle's been blown. Once again, the ball is up, and it looks like it will be in the possession of the Hornets. Pushing is Nestor. Nestor gripping, fired, and scored. Zach Nestor with the second goal of the game. He got a fast break off the turnover. Pittsford had a possession for a second. He just got the ball and ran with it. Now it's 3-1.
Yeah, he was taking that all the way. There was no way he was pulling up for a pass or stopping. He had the gap, and he was going to take it. Great goal there.
Great awareness by Nestor to know that I have an open lane here. Fast break and the numbers, but he just took it himself. Now it's 3-1. So we're right back to the face-off X, like we weren't here too long ago.
Familiar spot.
Yeah. Fighting for it, both squads. A couple people on the ground. Nestor comes up with it. Nestor looking for someone. He finds his long stick midi, Luke Miranda. Now it is in the possession of Howe. Howe looking for something. Dishes it off to Shanley. Back to Howe. 1:18 remaining in this first quarter. Jordan Lucy pulling it out, trying to set something up. Over to Miller. Up top to Kramer. Inside a minute in this first quarter of play. Kramer over to Lucy. Back to Kramer. Fayetteville-Manlius doing a very good job continuing to move the ball around, staying to the game plan, it looks like. Pittsford just trying to keep the ball out of the net, plain and simple. Miller on the goal line extended. Over to Shanley, who's been very quiet so far this game. Jack Shanley trying to make something happen. Gets pushed out to the 30. Over to Lucy. Inside 20 seconds remaining in this first quarter. Kramer back to Lucy. See what they'll do. Shot. Looked like it was blocked. Ball is loose and is picked up by the Panthers. 9 seconds remaining. It's Max Murphy who has it. Fires it away.
Ripping it down there.
Yeah, just
That's
end of the quarter. So at the end of one, Fayetteville-Manlius leads the Pittsford Panthers 3-1. Tate, what have you seen so far in this first quarter?
Well, it's been a lot of FM. You know, the score says as much. It's 3-1 in their favor. Zach Nestor's looked very good in transition and also in the half-field setup. Yeah, Pittsford really just hasn't had any time to set up anything, get anything going. It's been all Hornets, as I've said. And that's kind of what we expected. I think FM is a very defensive team, but if they can get out on offense and slow things down and work things at their own pace, it's in their favor for them.
And what do you think Pittsford can do on the defensive end to slow down this Fayetteville offense?
Well, that's kind of the thing. Fayetteville's already really, really slow. Pittsford's allowing Fayetteville just to set up in their half-field offense, pass around, work around real slow, not playing stupid passes, finding the smart pass, finding the open teammate, and just trying to spread out the Pittsford defense slowly and slowly and slowly until they can find an entry pass. They're not playing through X. They're keeping things all out in the face of goal, allowing things right in the mouth of Pittsford's defense, but still Pittsford can't adjust. And Tyler, coming out in the second quarter here, I'm going to expect Pittsford maybe to increase their pressure a little on ball defense, and that way it can force some unforced errors, get out in transition, and get Fayetteville on their heels, because we haven't seen that so far.
I 100% agree with you, Tate. And here we are, start of the second quarter. 3-1. Fayetteville leads. Looks like it will be Pittsford possession. No, it will go to, ball still bouncing around. No one has cleanly picked it up yet. And finally finds a hand of Fayetteville. And a change in goalie for the Panthers, or for the Hornets, it looks like. Now it looks like it is Jack Van Valkenburg. Interesting change. Why do you think they made the change there, Tate?
Well, it's just something FM likes to do. I know they like to rotate Hammond and Van Valkenburg pretty thoroughly, giving them both pretty equal playing time, which is the exact opposite of what Pittsford does. Pittsford is all about Brecken Catalano. But yeah, it's just fresh feet, fresh face, and give the opposing team a different look, and don't let them get too comfortable about shooting to one place.
Fayetteville moving the ball around. Howe over to, who is it? Miller up top. Back to Howe. Miller trying to make something out. Shot by Howe. Wide. It was last touched by a Pittsford player, and it will remain Fayetteville ball. Flag is out. We'll be interested to see what it is. Miller poked. Falls down. Ball is loose. And now second flag is out. Looks like both will be against the Panthers.
Yeah, I imagine as much. Casey Miller was getting tossed around in there.
Wait to see what it is. So first penalty is on Pittsburgh, Nathan Strauff. 30-second penalty. Its second one is on Jack Wallace for a slash. So now it'll be a two-man up advantage for Fayetteville. Sure, they'll just stick to their offense. There's going to be an opportunity for open shots. Just can't be taking wild shots, if you ask me. Kramer. Over to Luz. Back to Kramer. Over to Howe. Fayetteville doing a very good job. Quick passes, not keeping the ball static. Shot, no good. Rebounded by Fayetteville. That's called Leandro. Shot, also no good. Remain possession of Fayetteville. In the first penalty week, so now it's only a one-man disadvantage for the Panthers. Shot, good. What a shot right there by Zach Nestor. He's already got a hat trick in this first half.
Yeah, he's cooking today.
Great job on the man-up opportunity. It took advantage, and now it's a 4-1 game in favor of the Hornets. Zach Nestor just took it, saw an opening, and fired. And Catalano is telling his defense to just simply give him some help here. Catalano's been getting shots fired at him all day, and his defense has not done much to support him. Back to the face-off X. 9:51 remaining here in this first half. And it will go into the possession of Pittsford.
Something we haven't said much today.
No, that is indeed correct. We'll see what they can do. They're down 3 already. Could use a goal here to turn the ship around a little bit. Doing a great job moving the ball. Testa. Up to Imberza. Over to Di Giovanni. Driving, and that's Tomilarius. Shot off the post. It'll be chased down by Pittsford. Good hustle there by Imberza. And will remain Pittsford ball. Imberza looking for something. Dishes it off. Shot. Good. That is Harrison Cross, and he's cut the lead to half. Great move by Harrison Cross from behind the goal. Got around, bounce shot, and just got it past Jack Van Valkenburg. 8:57 remaining here in this first half. And the Panthers keeping themselves in it. Great feed by Imberza. Great move by Cross, get around the goal. The sophomore attackman, he was all-league honorable mention last year as a freshman. And he's showing why on that play.
Yeah, great job to cut the lead down to only 2. A much more manageable lead, or deficit, excuse me. You don't want to be down 5-1, because if you just look up at the scoreboard and you see 5-1, it gets your own players down. So 4-2, much more manageable. It's a great job by Pittsford to get the goal.
We saw it last week in our lacrosse showcase matchup between Skinny Atlas and Casanova. Skinny Atlas, had a huge lead going into halftime, and they held on to that for the entire game. And timeout is called by Fayetteville. 8:51 remaining here in this first half. 4-2. Hornets lead. Tate, what have you seen so far?
Well, I've seen Zach Nestor play very, very well. He's got the hat trick on the day. And so if you're Pittsburgh, what you're talking about in this huddle right now is how you shut down Nestor. It's been all about half-field offense for the Hornets, setting up very slowly, working the ball around. Obviously, one of Nestor's goals did come out in transition off that one face-off. But you can't allow him to wiggle his way into the middle of the defense, because that's where you get into big trouble. Your goalkeeper doesn't stand much of a chance when the defenseman, or the attackman, is 5-10 yards out and just ripping shots. So if they can keep Nestor out in front of goal, and force other FM players to step up, that's the recipe for success if you're Pittsford.
And if you're the head coach for Fayetteville, what are you telling your squad with the 4-2 lead? Almost a little more than halfway, a little less than halfway through in this first half.
Doug Madden right now should just be telling his players, keep it up. You're playing great. You're sticking to the game plan. The game plan clearly is just play it slow, play our game. Don't let Pittsford get us on our heels. Let's get them on their heels, and that's exactly what they've done so far. So if you're Doug Madden, you're just telling your players, just keep it up. You're playing well, no real complaints. You haven't really had a ton of unforced errors, which is big, something you want to avoid in every sport. They had the one bad pass that led to a turnover, but that's it. And if you're sitting here midway through the second quarter, that's a good position to be in.
Head coach Doug Madden, he played went to Georgetown University. He was a captain there. I'm sure that experience is rubbed off on his squad. As Fayetteville will have possession coming out of the timeout. Miller over to Howe. Or no, that is Zach Nestor, excuse me. Numbers are hard to read. Sometimes they're very far away, but Nestor already with a hat trick, as we mentioned. Back to Miller.
Slowing things down, waiting to get the right subs in.
Looks like they're trying to get a sub on. There we go. Howe comes back to the defensive end.
Now Miller calls him back.
Coach Madden didn't like what was going on, so he just figured out we'll just stick to what was happening. And nearly a turnover by the Hornets, picked up by Caliandro. Ward not called there. Ball is in possession of Shanley. Driving on the goal line, send it behind the net. Shot by Nestor, wide, and it will go to Panthers.
Nestor's feeling himself today. That wasn't a great angle, and it's kind of been against the Hornets' offense so far to just take shots. Usually they're working it around real slow, but he's feeling himself, and he's got 3 goals to prove it, so why not?
That was what we call a heat check shot. If you
Yes,
ask
it
me.
was.
It's the Panthers trying to get it over midfield, and they do. It's in Bergia. Finally turns back around into the stick of Di Giovanni. Over to Tom Liaris. Cross field, goal line extended, going behind to the back of the net. Moving brawl, 7-11 remaining as the ball is costly turned over. And it will be an offside penalty called against the Panthers, it looks like.
Mm-hmm. Hornets ball.
No, we'll go to the Hornets. Excuse me. It's interesting to see because Howe stepped over, but will remain Hornets' possession.
Yeah, ball was trickling back to half field line, and Howe was trying not to get in all sides, but he was getting pushed in the back, so I'm pretty sure that's where the foul came from.
That was a careless pass by the Panthers to cause a turnover, and then careless pass here by the Hornets, and now it will go back to Pittsford. Panthers dishing it off to Catalano. Down 4-2. If you can go into halftime down 1, tied, down 2 is not horrible, but you would like to have some momentum going into the half. And it's another costly careless pass.
Works out for him, though.
Yeah, worked out well. Slipped by Aiden McKenzie, and a timeout is called. Smart timeout call right there by Pittsford. He saw his player on the ground just to reset things a little bit.
Yeah, Andrew Whipple didn't want to risk it there. Didn't want to risk the turnover because Pittsford hasn't held the ball that much. So if you're you're going to lose possession, you want to call timeout, retain possession, get yourself set up in a better position. Because, I mean, for the Pittsford Panthers, time of possession has been gold. Hard to find for them. They haven't had much of it, as we've been saying. It's just been all Hornets so far. But it's only 4-2, which
has not seemed to hurt them too much, this time of possession thing. If you are the coaching staff for the Panthers, who are you saying we want the ball in their hands right now to maybe get a goal here?
it could come from a slew of people. Ben Giovanni, that could be one, or Sonny Imbergia. He's the other one, other player that we're looking for. Both are shooters, both are scorers, and both can play the ball very well. So if you're Andrew Whipple, I imagine you're looking to them right now.
Interesting to see what they come out with here. This play will resume with 6:26 remaining. If you're just joining us, Tyler Melito alongside Tate Stigworth in our CNY Stream Lacrosse Showcase. Another week in that. Thank you for joining us on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. In Bergia up top. Swinging it over to Di Giovanni. Back to Imbergia. Back and forth action here. Di Giovanni driving. Nearly slips and falls. Comes back up. Good defense by the Hornets. In a post-up action.
Giving him no room.
No room to wiggle at all.
That's Logan Wilkinson, I believe.
That was shot by Imbergia. Good save by Van Valkenburg there. Ball is loose and finally picked up by the Hornets, and they got the numbers here.
Yeah, getting out in transition. Don't want to get the Panthers too much time to get set up defensively.
Good hustle, though, by the Panthers to get back. Shanley behind the net, one-on-one situation. It's interesting, the sun is out, and it is strong Tate. Will that play an effect, you think?
For us seeing numbers, maybe, but
yes,
for the players down the field, probably not.
Shot wide.
Popped up in the air.
Yeah, by Luz. Good save by Catalano, and it will go to the Panthers. Interesting strategy. Ooh. Big hit by Shanley.
Yeah, trying to rip the ball away from Max Murphy, was out running in transition, trying to get to the offensive end, but no, you can't do that.
Yeah, That will be a slash.
22, 30-second push.
No, push penalty. My apologies. That's just careless defense if you're asking me. You're taught as a lacrosse player to play defensively. I get it that Shanley was trailing. Just try to slap the ball out of the long stick.
Just trying to make something happen, but it'll be costly. Luckily, it's only 30 seconds.
It is only 30 seconds, but we'll see what the Panthers can do. If it's a goal, if Panthers get a goal here, that's just careless on Shanley's behalf. Either way.
That's huge.
If you're a young lacrosse player watching, don't be
doing that, yeah.
Don't be aggressively swinging your stick, even if it's, regardless of who it's on.
Yeah, 5:01 left, so if they can find a goal here and make it 4-3, that's plenty of time still left in the game, and much better situation for you coming into half.
Giovanni pass inside for Harrison Cross. That's his second goal of the game, the sophomore attackman. And we just said it.
There
That's
it is.
a costly penalty right there because they were man up. It was a man up penalty goal for the Panthers.
Yeah, that's definitely a bad foul. Way away from net, not even close to being like a goal-scoring opportunity. You're not doing anything heroic there. You're just trying to make a play, and when you didn't need to, and it came back to bite them.
And for the Panthers, that's a momentum swing right there. Here we are now, 4-3, 4:47 remaining in this first half. There's more than enough time here for the Panthers to tie it up, but there's also a lot of time here for the Hornets to add on a couple goals before the end of the half.
Yeah, Pittsford has 2 unanswered right now. It's 4-3. Much better situation for them than on the opposite, being 4-1 and Fayetteville continuing to score.
Violation on the Panthers, so we'll go to Fayetteville. Nestor with the ball, swings it over to Howe. To the X for Shanley. Good ball movement. Nestor grips it, rips it.
Good save.
Good save by Catalano. Ball is on the ground and finally picked up by the Panthers. Good pickup there by Bernie Hames. Catalano. Good defense by Shanley to force Catalano to not dump it off. Ball is finally, it's still on the ground, finally picked up by the Hornets, but there will be a flag, most likely. I'm not going to guess. I'm not very good at the guessing game. We'll just see what it's called.
I imagine it's because
It will go against Fayetteville because there was a big hit, possibly a cross check on the goalie, but we'll see. And so refs deliberate.
yeah, try to get it right here. Don't want to put it on the wrong player or call the wrong thing.
Yes. And
2-5, 1 minute, a legal body check.
so it will be a 1-minute penalty against Pratt Reynolds the fourth. Legal body check. So another opportunity, a man-up opportunity for the Panthers. We'll see if they can make something out of it.
Yeah, if Pittsford scores here, you're really shooting yourself in the foot. If you're the Hornets, you can't keep giving up these opportunities. And if you're going to have all this time of possession on the other end and on the offensive end, you got to convert at some point. You can't just keep having empty possessions.
It seems here, though, that the Panthers have finally settled in to this game a little bit more. They got out to a rocky start. Zach Nestor had the early goals. And here we are now, 3:55 remaining here in this first half. They've settled in, and they've kind of dominated the second quarter, if you ask me.
Yeah, time of possession starting to turn for sure. And they've definitely settled in. You're right there, Tyler. And they've definitely found a little bit of a groove. Definitely more comfortable. And as we say that,
Tried to find the pass inside. Turnover. Ball is loose. And it'll go back into the possession of the Panthers. Good hustle by, I believe it was Sammy Tomlioris to chase down the Limestone commit. And Panthers have it. Imberza. Over to Di Giovanni. 10 seconds remaining in the penalty. Nearly turnover by Panthers. Cross behind the net. He's already got 2 on the day. Shot fired by Sammy Tomolieris. Panther possession cell. It's a good shot. It's just a little too far out.
yeah, just let it sail too much.
Cross. Tried to make something. Back to Tomolieris. They're just giving him his left-handed. He's not taking it. Interesting to see there. Cross behind. Ambrosio.
Driving
Coming
on his right.
around, shot a little wide, will remain Panther possession. That is the one thing, having a guy behind the net, although you're kind of taking someone out of play, on those shot attempts, you have someone back there to run it down.
Mm-hmm.
Because usually, 9 times out of 10, the goalie's at the best advantage to run down shots that go wide. As we see now, 3 straight shots, and it remains Pittsford possession. Panthers moving it. DiGiovanni. We're all square in terms of players on the field. DiGiovanni's shot a little high. Still Panther ball.
Still Panther ball, but that was a good look. They're starting to get better and better looks. The Ambrosio shot, the shot before that was a great look. Drove on his right and just found himself pretty much right in front of goal, but just couldn't convert.
Cross dumps it off. Shot wide by Ryan Dumont.
Yeah, Ryan Dumont, hot hand right now, had 4 goals and an assist in their last game versus Lancaster, so not a surprise that he's chucking right now.
That was a win for the Panthers, if I'm not mistaken. A shot by Ambrosio, diving shot falling down to the ground, and we got ourselves a game here. Tied up 4-4 inside 2 minutes in this first half. What a shot by Ambrosio.
I'm surprised he stayed on his feet. He was falling down, stumbling, and he somehow rips this low shot that, I mean, I don't think Van Valkenburg ever really saw. I don't think he ever really had a chance at it. So great balance by Ambrosio to stay on his feet and find their 3rd unanswered goal and tie this game up at 4s.
I don't think Van Valkenburg thought that Ambrosio was going to get that shot off. That is a very tough shot. I bet if I were to do that 100 times, I don't think I'd get it in the goal more than 5.
Yeah, that's why we're up here, Doug.
That is why we're up here. So 4-4 inside 2 minutes in this first half. This game has turned around for the Panthers, and now we got ourselves a nice, interesting contest here. Who will have the momentum going into halftime? I think it'll be someone if they score. As a turnover by the Panthers.
I mean, right now, I think the momentum is all Pittsford. Hornets are playing a little more careless. Passes are getting a little more misplaced, and I mean, if you got 3 unanswered goals, I would say you have pretty much all the momentum. So Fayetteville's got to find an answer pretty soon.
I will say this on behalf of Fayetteville. They are sticking to their offense when they have had the ball. The shots are just not falling like they were. And a timeout is called. Timeout by the Hornets.
Yeah, Doug Madden, I think, wants to hit the big reset button on this one.
Yes, just try to draw something up here, go into halftime, maybe have a 1-goal lead, and it'll be interesting to see what they do.
And we talked about it pregame a little, but Jack Shanley's been pretty much shut down all game. Hasn't had that much. So far, Zach Nestor with 3 of the 4 Hornets goals. So if I'm coach, I'm kind of getting in Jack Shanley's ear like, hey, buddy, let's wake up. Let's get out there. Because, I mean, he's got 20 points in season, 18 goals. He's the lead goal scorer by a very safe margin. Next closest is Michael Howe with 13 goals. So, I mean, if you're Fayetteville, you need Jack Shanley kind of to get on his high horse here and start scoring because, I mean, they haven't scored since, what, the first quarter? Midway first quarter?
If not early second quarter. I believe Nestor had a goal early to start off the second quarter. But, yeah, that is interesting. We'll see what head coach Doug Madden draws up for his squad. Will it be for Shanley? Will it be for Nestor, who has the hot hand, or someone else?
A possible third.
Possible third.
Maybe
who
a
knows?
Max Kramer, the other goal of the day. Really did break out to be a beautiful day, though, Tyler.
It did
Let
really
me tell you.
break out for a beautiful day. I thought it was going to be pouring down. We're going to have Ben Shep, who's on top of the booth here.
Getting coated in rain.
Get it covered in rain. It was very windy before. The wind is still present, but seems to temper down a little bit. Lose, driving, shot, score. Well, that's one way to score a goal. Just take it yourself, drive it all the way. And Jordan Lewis now gives Fayetteville the lead once again.
Hey, that was weird. Jack Wallace and Tommy Birmingham kind of on the Pittsford defense are just sitting there looking at each other like, just pointing at each other like, I thought you were going to get him.
Yeah.
Jordan Lewis, unassisted, started with the ball and ended with the ball in the back of the net. He just went for a little 20-yard run and just dumped the ball. If you're the Pittsford defense, you can't allow a man just to walk to your goal. That was ridiculous. But if you're the Hornets, Got a goal, 5-4. Start to turn it around.
And Bracken Catalano couldn't do much there.
No.
He was running shot across his body even, onto the high left corner. That's a beautiful shot there by Luz. So here we are, 5-4, 124 remaining here in this first half. Back to the face-off X. And the ball is out, picked up by someone. There's been no clean face-off wins yet, but it goes into the possession of Pittsford. Picked up there by Bernie Hames. Nathan Strouf with the ball up top. Gives it up to Imbergia.
Getting their subs right.
Just try to have the guys they want. Final minute here in this first half. Over to Di Giovanni. If you're Pittsford here, I'd hold for the last possession of the half. Try to find a good shot here and go into halftime either down 1 or tied up. Don't give Fayetteville the chance to score.
No, don't risk it going down 2. Keep it a 1 or a tie game, as you said, if they can find a goal here.
Di Giovanni driving around, looking for something.
Oh,
Nice.
great pick.
There will be a flag, but nice stop by Van Valkenburg.
Yeah, that was a great pickoff, but Logan Wilkinson's going to get called for the cross check here. But that was a great snag by Van Valkenburg. He was looking, I think, for Harrison Cross and X, but Van Valkenburg just popped out of nowhere, threw a stick in there, and got the interception, but sadly won't count.
It looked like Cross was looking to come up and dump it off, and they'll have a chance now. Man-up opportunity. They've been very good on these man-up opportunities so far. We'll see if they can tack on one more before the half. 22 seconds remaining, so they got to work quick. In case you're curious, the penalty, I believe, will carry over into the second half. And it looks like they're just going to hold the ball in Bergia. Finally, someone comes up to pressure him.
This is Alan Gotti.
I think just holding the ball here. 5 seconds remaining. Bergia just moving around. And as we go into halftime, 5-4, Fayetteville-Manlius leads over Pittsford. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back to Fayetteville-Manlius High School for our CNY Stream Lacrosse Showcase game between to the break. Tate, what did you see in this first half for Fayetteville?
That's a tale of two quarters. As Sonny Imbergia fires a shot saved by Ben Hammond in goal for the FM Hornets. But getting back to my point, it was a tale of two quarters. First quarter was all FM in terms of time possession, shots, basically, story of the game. All categories, all
and
FM.
They had the lead by a big lead.
Had a very comfortable lead at the end of the first. But then coming into the second, Pittsford really started to settle in and turn around and get comfortable and find goals and tighten the game up. Before FM found their fifth goal, they had 3 unanswered goals to tie the game up at 4s. So definitely interesting, something to watch. Who settles in here in the third quarter? Third quarter, usually a big Pittsford quarter. They have a +6 goal differential in the third quarter so far in the season. So we'll see if it's Pittsford or Fayetteville that's going to settle in and really take control of this game.
It's very interesting to see now Fayetteville coach Doug Madden has switched back to Ben Hammond in goal. It was Hammond started the game, then Jack Van Valkenburg came in the second quarter. Do you think they stick with Hammond given the fact that Van Valkenburg
let up that run?
Let up that little bit of run, not directly solely on his fault. There was a couple defensive lapses and great play by the Panthers, but do you think they stick with Hammond here?
They're going to stick with Hammond for the third quarter and then probably go back to Van Valkenburg, I'd guess, for the fourth quarter. Just to keep the Panthers on their heels, I guess, in terms of not getting comfortable with any one goalkeeper.
It'll be interesting to see as the Panthers now have the ball 2 minutes into the second half. No major action thus far. As shot fired and scored by Nathan Strauss past Hammond, and we got ourselves a tied game once again, 5-5. Strauss took it off all the way himself.
Yeah, it's a great start for Pittsford. Exactly what you want to see, and that's a great goal by Strauss. Just rode the contact all the way until the defender kind of just fell off his hip. He got left behind, and Strauss finds himself right in front of goal. No way Hammond stopping that. Strauss just put it pretty much right over his head into the top corner.
And here we go now back to the face-off X once again. Interesting trend so far. No one has cleanly picked off the face-off. It's been a lot of the ball's been bouncing around and guys get out of position.
Yeah, a lot of chaos off these face-offs.
A lot of chaos. We'll see. It'll be interesting to see if that trend continues throughout the game, because that could be a telltale sign for a game, Tate. If teams don't get clean possession off the face-off.
You don't want to leave it up to the ground balls.
Don't want to leave it up to the ground balls, indeed. As a whistle is blown, it will go to Pittsford. Yes, it will go to Pittsford. For what reason, I don't know off the top of my head, but nonetheless. Imbergia will take it. Oh, nice move there by Imbergia. Thought about shooting it, but goes back out, dishes it off to Tomaleris.
A little swim move on Logan Wilkinson, frees up some space. He thought about shooting it on his left, but decides against it and holds up.
A little too far out. Imbergia going to Binghamton next year to play. He falls, gets back up. Thought about shooting it once again. Gets turned around. Pass inside, off the post by Ryan Dumont. And the ball will go all the way back to midfield. Good job there. Ooh. And a flag is out. Berger got drilled. Berger got drilled by, it looks like, Logan Wilkinson, and he'll go to the box.
Yeah, it's getting pretty chirpy over here. I don't think Logan Wilkinson's having a great day so far, and Berger's kind of been all up in his box all day. And he saw an opportunity to level them, and he took it. So
2-minute unreleasable penalty. That was a costly penalty right there. So unreleasable, if you do not know, it is if a goal is scored, the penalty will still stand. It will be an entirety 2-minute. Some penalty, a releasable penalty is where the goal is scored, guy can immediately come back onto the field. But so Wilkinson will cost his team 2 minutes, and that allows the opportunity for the Panthers to really grow, to get a lead going here. They're currently tied. They haven't had a lead all game, and they've been good on the man-up opportunities.
Yeah, a small moral victory, I guess, for Logan Wilkinson, because he got to level an opponent. But, yeah, he did it in a legal way, and a 2-minute unreleasable is not what you want, especially in a game that you haven't had full control of. And, I mean, this could be a huge turning point in the grand scheme of the game.
Yes, indeed, but we'll see what Pittsford does. We're waiting. Oh, they're changing it. It's now a 3-minute penalty. That's even worse if
Yeah.
you're Pittsford. That penalty will not release until 6:17 remaining in the third quarter, and you can hear, I was able to hear it from the fans. They're not happy.
No, fans. There was a big groan that went up when the clock changed from 2 to 3.
So now it's the Panthers within a huge advantage here. DiGiovanni over to Tomoliaris. Back behind. Good moving. Just wait for an open shot opportunity. Don't try to force anything here. You got ample time.
Yeah, they're just picking their spots right now.
A shot wide by Dumont. Remain Panther ball. Not the greatest of shots there, if you ask me. He didn't have a great angle.
Nah, but that was early in the 3 minutes, so why not fire one off real quick just to see if they can get anything going.
Just need to get shots. And Berger back to Cross, who's already got 2 goals on this game. Dumont over to Tomoliaris. Cross behind. Back out to Berger on the goal line extended. Tomoliaris. Great, interesting defense here by the Hornets. They're keeping it very close to the goal. They're saying, if you guys want to take the long shots, take them. But we're not going to let you guys get inside.
No, they're not letting themselves get open.
Good pass by DiGiovanni for Strauss. And now here we are. Bless you. 8 minutes remaining here in this third quarter. Strauss. Back to Imbergia. A shot.
Ooh, good fake.
Good save there by Hammond, and a push call will go against.
A push against Hammond.
Yep. Panthers possession. Cross over to Strauss. Flips it off. As Cross gets it behind the net. Tomoliaris. Good ball is fizzing around, if you will. A shot by Imbergia deep, and it's great save by Hammond.
There you go.
That is huge for them. As the Panthers couldn't get anything. They ticked away almost 2 minutes of that 3-minute penalty against Wilkinson.
And they took 3 not great shots. It's great defense there from the Hornets, not letting anything inside. And as you said, just telling them, if you're going to shoot against us, it's going to have to be from outside.
They remained their composure. Nearly an offside penalty as Lou stepped over and then hopped back, realizing that, oh, wait, we're a man down. But it'll go to the Panthers. Cross has got it. Inside a minute remaining in this penalty. Cross being forced back out. Tomoliaris thought about it. Dinsed it off to Imbergia.
And in terms of momentum, if you want to do the flip, if the Hornets can burn this full 3 minutes and not give up a single goal, that's huge for them.
That is extremely huge. Could not agree more with you, Tate. Pass inside for Strauss. Lost it. Picked up by Cross. 17 seconds remaining in the penalty. DiGiovanni for Imbergia. Inside Strauss. Shots. Good save by Hammond. Huge save. And now with 6 seconds remaining in the penalty, the Hornets essentially burned out this entire thing. And what we thought was going to be 1, maybe even 2 goals for the Panthers.
We thought it was going to be devastating for them in terms of this game, but they just burned it. 3 minutes is up.
3 minutes is up, and now it will all man even. And the ball is loose, picked up by the Hornets. Over midfield. No one has clean possession. And a whistle is blown. And a flag.
Oh,
Careless penalty. Penalty after the whistle. That will most likely go against Shanley. Shanley already not. That's the second penalty of the game.
I don't love that call.
I don't love it
that
either.
call.
That's like a thing where you can't really stop your momentum.
He was just playing to the whistle.
Yeah. 1 minute penalty, unnecessary roughness on Shanley.
All right, well, the Hornets just burned a full 3 minutes and a man down, but now they're going to have to burn another minute. And
just got to keep their composure, the Hornets. They just got to be disciplined in this one. They can't overextend their defense and allow for the Panthers to get inside easy shots in front of the goal. As we said it before, Tate, in the last penalty, the Panthers had 3 not-so-great shots from long range. If they could get inside the Panthers' camp, they could easily score, but given the way this Fayetteville defense was when they're man down, I don't know how likely that is.
Yeah, everyone in that 3-minute penalty just played within themselves, didn't try to do too much, and just stuck to their role, and it worked out.
Yes, indeed. And as action resumes, Strauff with it, over to DiGiovanni, on the wing for Tomalaris, back behind for Cross, excuse me. Strauff flips it off to DiGiovanni. Thought about it, cross inside, saved by Hammond.
Great job by Hammond to kind of come to the edge of his crease, or maybe even out of his crease, but not give Cross any space to gather the ball and collect a decent shot on net, because that was a dangerous space to be in.
Extremely dangerous, and that's just the difference we've seen between Hammond and Van Valkenburg here. Van Valkenburg, on the couple opportunities where Fayetteville was man down, he just stayed in the crease. Hammond has had big save after big save when Fayetteville is man down.
Oh, how do you?
As a shot by Fayetteville wide will remain in their possession. 16 seconds left in the penalty.
That was a great move by Max Kramer to drag the defender one way and open up the center of the field, and a great opportunity in front of net, but just couldn't convert in the bottom corner.
So now Fayetteville will go about to all square. Shanley will come back in. 4 seconds remaining. 5 minutes remaining in this third quarter of play, and not much action so far here in this third quarter. It's 5-5. We had the 1 goal, but nothing much. Miller, shot off the bounce. Good save by Catalano.
If the lacrosse gods were looking there, that goal would have gone in, because the Hornets just killed 4 minutes worth of penalties, and a goal there for the Hornets would have been huge. The stadium would have erupted.
You think they would have been rewarded for their great defense. It's now fast break opportunity for the Panthers. Michael Massett, that now is in possession of Ryan Dumont. In Bergia. Over to Tomalaris, 4:18 remaining. This time is being milked away, and we talked about it first half. The time possession was huge, Tate. It was greatly in favor of Fayetteville-Manlius in the first quarter, and now you haven't seen Fayetteville-Manlius have much offensive possessions at all in this third quarter. It's been all Pittsford.
Yeah, the Hornets love to just settle down and set up, and they haven't had the opportunity to so far in the third quarter.
So what do you think was said during the halftime speech on the Pittsford sideline that has led to this change in the tides here? Whoa, what a shot by Bergia. A little taunting action after, but he gets the goal, his second of the day. And it looks like there's a player down for the Hornets, but it's now a 6-5 game with 3:47 remaining in the third quarter. What a shot by Bergia.
Yeah, that was a great shot, a low angle. Ball came out from like right at his hip pretty much, and I'm thinking maybe the Fayetteville defender who was guarding Bergia, I don't have the number for you yet, might have been hit by the stick on the follow through.
That's what it looked like. It couldn't. I doubt it was the ball given effect.
That was a bullet to the back of the net.
If it was the ball, I would not be surprised, because lacrosse balls hurt.
Yes, they certainly do. A whack of the lacrosse stick on the back of your head would definitely hurt.
Yes, indeed.
Especially if it gets it on like the back of the neck, right under the helmet area. He's up to his feet now. He's walking off.
Can't see the number. It's
Number 28, Luke Miranda there.
Yep, looks to be okay. Hopefully.
Walking off under his own power. Good thing to see.
Very nice, very nice. But here we are now, and 6-5 game, 3:47 remaining in this third quarter of play. Pittsburgh has the lead. We haven't said that much this game.
No, and they're on a 5-1 run right now.
Yeah.
In terms of goals scored, it was 4-1 when start of the second, end of the first, and now we're looking at 6-5. And I mean, I don't know what to say if you're Fayetteville, but you gotta find goals. Someone has to find goals at some point. So far, Zach Nestor has 3, but someone else has to step up. He can't carry the whole team through this whole game.
Cannot carry this team at all. I think you got to look at Jack Shanley, guy who has 2 penalties already on this game and no goals. Been very quiet so far. Interesting to see how things change. The ball is loose, picked up by the Hornets.
Zach Conley there with a nice pickup.
Great pickup there for the long stick mid. It looks like Lewis has it up top. trying to make something happen. Nestor, a hot hand all game today.
Lots of subs coming in and out. Max Kramer entering the offensive end.
You want to get your best guys on the offensive end, especially when you're down with 3:13 remaining in the third quarter. There isn't much time to play around with, really. Fourth quarter, if you have a big deficit, it's very hard to come back from. And shot by Nestor with the response. What a move along the goal line extended, and he's tied this game back up.
The fourth goal of the day. Keeping his low center of gravity, not getting bowled over by the Pittsford defender, and just a little bit of speed, a little bit of just balance, and he finds himself right in front of the net. And all he has to do from there is just put it in the top corner, and Catalano had no chance at saving that one.
Great balance you mentioned by Nestor. He's kind of not at the greatest of angles, but he's able to get into a good spot where he can get a nice clean shot off. And from on the Pittsford side, the defender's stick was up high. If he kept it low, kind of kept pushing him off a little bit, could have been a different end. But 6-6 with 3 minutes remaining here in this third quarter. And now the tides are slowly turning once again, as Nestor picks up the ball on the faceoff. And we saw before earlier in the game, he had a wide open fast break goal off a faceoff. Looks like it won't happen here, but
he pulls up slowly. But yeah, that was a very nice goal earlier in the game when he just picked up the ground ball and just took off running down the field, dumped the ball in the back of the net.
And a lot of action taking place on the Fayetteville sideline, trying to get the guys they want on the offensive end.
Yeah, Jordan Lewis, Max Kramer entering for Fayetteville.
Both guys have touched. Nestor shot saved by Catalano. Both guys have touched the ball a lot, Kramer and Lewis, but not much to show for it. Interesting to see.
No goals to show.
As this game continues to go on, will anything change? As Pittsford brings it over midfield, is Strauf bring it over to Inberja. As Strauf is making a beeline for the sideline, he'll come off. Inberja flips it off to Di Giovanni. Sun is starting to set here on Fayetteville-Manlius. If you're just tuning in, Tyler Melito alongside Tate Stigworth. Shout out to Ben Shep, our producer / cameraman today. Thank you for joining us on this sunny April Saturday. Not what we normally see for Syracuse weather. It was supposed to get up to 70 degrees today. I don't know if it did, just the wind chill, but it's a beautiful day nonetheless.
True, a sunny Syracuse day. You don't say that often.
No. I was thinking about going golfing today, and then I realized,
Nope.
Wait, I'm calling this game with you, Tate. Much rather be here, though, as offside, and we'll go to Fayetteville. 1:33 remaining here in this third quarter, excuse me. And a flag is thrown. Delay of game? I'm going to guess that. Yep, 30-second delay of game penalty against the Panthers. That is Ben Di Giovanni. He threw the ball away as soon as the whistle was blown and forced Fayetteville-Manlius to go a little bit further back.
Yeah, can't do that in any sport. Basketball, lacrosse, can't do that.
No, can't do that at all. And will be interesting to see. We haven't seen many man-up opportunities for Fayetteville. Let's see what they can do here.
Yeah, Pittsford's been very smart, not fouling too often and not getting themselves in ugly situations like the Hornets have this game.
Fortunately, it's only a 30-second penalty, so it shouldn't have too much of an effect, but I don't want to jinx anything. Kramer, inside.
Pass.
Good pass, shot, and scored by Mike Howe. 7-6 now. Fayetteville leads. What a move by Howe, and what an even better pass by Kramer.
Hey, remember like 30 seconds ago when you said hopefully it won't do too much damage?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, the announcer jinx is a real thing.
The announcer jinx is a real thing indeed. I am sorry to all Pittsford fans listening. I will remain quiet for the rest of the game in terms of jinx. Unfortunately, you have to listen to me do the play-by-play.
Yeah, sorry. But yeah, that was a great pass and a great goal. And if you're Fayetteville, that's exactly what you need. We talk about someone's got to find the goals, and if it's going to be Mike Howe for the rest of the game, then so be it.
So be it indeed. And here we are on the face-off once again. Minute 14 remaining here in this third quarter of play. If you're joining us, thank you very much. You could listen to all of our games here on CNY Stream at cnystream.com. Follow us on Twitter at CNY Stream. And Fayetteville will have possession once again Dishes it back off to Vincent Coliandro. Final minute here in this quarter. Nestor back to Coliandro.
Good snag.
Good snag indeed. Nestor. No one came up to guard him, and he just gripped it and ripped it. Shot wide. It will remain Fayetteville ball.
Yeah, it was like the lose goal earlier when no defenders really just stepped up. Nestor stepped into some space, and nobody opposed it, so he's like, hey, yeah, I'll rip it.
Why is that, do you think, that no one stepped up on Nestor? They know that he's had the hot hand all game. I would have one guy glued to his hip the entire time.
But you'd like to think as much, and it's easy to say from down here, but when you're down on the field, you're like, oh, this other person has it. It's your responsibility. But then the other person's thinking the exact same thing, so you just end up with a wide open player.
That is true indeed. It's Nestor going in. Shot looked like it was blocked. And it will remain Fayetteville ball with 14 and a half seconds remaining in this third quarter.
Got clobbered there by Jack Wallace, excuse me. It's going to be a 1 minute unnecessary roughness on him. So Fayetteville, man up again. Let's see if they can capitalize.
That will carry over into the final quarter of the play.
Yes, it will. Which means they start off with possession, which is huge considering some of these face-offs have been pretty dicey, and no one's ever had a clean one this game.
Costly penalty by Jack Wallace indeed. Fayetteville is very spread out, and now it looks like there's a guy glued to the hip of Kramer for Pittsford.
Yeah, the 35-yard line.
And they'll just go to the end of the quarter. So after 3 quarters of play, Fayetteville-Manlius leads 7-6 over Pittsford. We'll be back in a moment. And welcome back to Fayetteville-Manlius High School as final quarter of play about to begin. 7-6, Fayetteville leads over Pittsford. And Tyler Melito alongside Tate Sigworth, in case you were just tuning in. Tate, what would you see in that third quarter?
It was kind of, as I said in the first half, to summarize the first half, tale of 2 quarters. That was like a tale of 2 halves within a quarter. I keep going back to this analogy, but it was all Pittsford for the first half of the quarter, and then Pittsford started giving some costly fouls away, and now to start the quarter, the Hornets are up a man, and that was kind of the story of the second half of the third quarter.
It was interesting to see because Fayetteville, they were man down for the majority of that first half of the third quarter, and we thought, are they going to get rewarded for their stellar defense there? And they did. Now they have a 1-goal lead heading to the final quarter of play. A shot drilled by Mike Howe, excuse me. That's his second goal of the game. And now he pushes it to a 2-goal lead.
Yeah, that was big. A low kind of bouncing shot, as I said in the first half. It's tough to deal with if you're a keeper. But yeah, momentum's starting to turn. The Hornets killed off 4 minutes worth of I think it was 4 minutes worth of penalties in the third quarter. 3 of those minutes coming at one time from a Logan Wilkinson.
This final quarter of play, and that's a huge momentum shifter. If you would say Fayetteville didn't have the momentum already. Ball is still on the face-off. X finally picked up. No, still not picked up.
No.
Rolling, rumbling, bumbling. Finally picked up. No.
It's still bouncing around.
Still bouncing around, but it will go to Pittsford. think
ground balls are very valuable this game because
Very.
nobody can seem to corral them.
It's hard to say. We always on the other side of the field. I will give them that. So Tate, if you are the Pittsford coaching staff, what are you telling your team? Because you're down 2 in the final quarter play. There's not much time left to play with here.
Yeah, you don't want to have these long, winding possessions where you maybe get a good look at goal, because if that comes out to be an empty possession and you don't get a goal from it, if you just killed 2 minutes and you only got 2 shots and you didn't even get a goal from it, then at this point in the game, that's not helping you. In fact, it's probably hurting you. So you want to get some quick looks. You want to maybe look to push and transition, because everybody loves transition goals here in lacrosse. They're quick, and when you're down 2, I mean, that can be huge for you in terms of momentum swing if you can just pound out a few transition goals. So for Andrew Whipple, I'm telling my team, let's pick the pace up. You don't want to have these long winding possessions, as I said. So some shorter passes, quicker passes, and find the gaps in the Hornets' defense.
Indeed. The one thing is, they got to make them smart shots. You can't just be gripping and ripping from 40 yards out and hoping they'll go in.
Exactly.
Just stay in your lane, as a wise man once told me. Harrison Cross with it, over to Danny Judge. Pittsford moving it around, up to Tomaliaris. Back to Di Giovanni, who had a very nice third quarter. That's me to believe it. He had at least 1 goal, if I'm not mistaken. Di Giovanni over to Inversia, a little high, and it will be a turnover. So Fayetteville get the ball back. Probably not what Coach Whipple drew up there.
No, definitely not. And you can tell your players to go fast and pick the pace up, but at the same time, you need to tell them not to do that, not throw careless, high-sailing passes that are going to result in turnovers.
And I know I questioned it earlier in the third quarter if whether or not Ben Hammond would stay in goal for Fayetteville. It turns out it's not. It will. They switch back to Jack Van Valkenburg.
Hello.
As Pittsburgh has a fast break. Nothing but Ben Hammond had a very good third quarter. So why do you think they switched back to Van Valkenburg?
I don't know. It's definitely their thing. Their style is to go 1-1-1-1. Give each keeper 1 quarter at a time to keep the team on their heels, not get too comfortable. But at the same time, you do also kind of want to reward your players for playing well, and Hammond's been playing very well this game. So I don't know. Would I like to see Coach keep him in?
It's very interesting as well, because you stay on for a quarter, and then you go off for a quarter. You lose some of that mojo.
That's an excellent.
The game flow.
Yep,
Nice
it's an
shot by
excellent point.
Inversia, a little high. Harrison Cross tried to go a little too quick. You lose some of the momentum you have in goalie. You say momentum as a team, but when you're in goal,
You want to
out
get
of rhythm.
comfortable.
Right. Just being thrown in. But we'll see what Van Valkenburg can do. A shot a little wide by, I believe it was Dumont.
Nice move by Harrison Cross there to find the lane.
It was a very nice move. So the Panthers will still have possession as Cross picks it up. 9:46 remaining here in this final quarter of play. Cross driving along the crease.
Lou's giving him no room to breathe there.
No room at all. And great save by Van Valkenburg. Maybe not the greatest of shots, but got his body in front of it. Fayetteville has possession. As Kramer's pushing it. He knows what's at stake here. If you get another goal, give your team a great chance to win. Interesting feed. Looking for Howe. It was a turnover. Now he's going back and forth.
Slow it down now. Slow it down.
Yeah. You got the lead here. No need to push.
I mean, in that situation, you got some ground balls happening on the defensive end. Why not try and push out for a transition goal?
Exactly.
But when it doesn't come, have the whereabouts to slow down and the game recognition that got to keep the pace on a low right now.
That is the thing. A lot of these kids, they're still high schoolers, and the mindset being a now freshman high schooler last year, the mindset is you want to be the guy that makes the stellar play.
You want to be the highlight guy.
Right, you want to be the highlight guy, but to have that knowledge of all I got to do is we have a lead. Just play to win. Don't need to add on anything extra if we don't need to.
That's exactly true, Tyler. Exactly true.
That's definitely what I think Coach Madden and his staff is telling his squad. And for the most part, they're doing a pretty good job at that. Just moving around. This is what we saw earlier in the first half. Ball's moving around nicely. Loose. Trying to draw in a little bit. Ball is loose. Picked up by, I believe that is Reynolds.
Yeah, and then resetting out to Max Kramer here. And
Yep.
as good as this Hornets offense is for time killing, time of possession, if you go down and you start giving up some goals on the other end, it's been struggling to just find goals right away.
You need to get a good shot. It's a good shot there by Luz. Great even better save by Catalano.
Yeah, if the Hornets have needed a goal, it's been tough for them to find that goal.
Unless you're Zach Nestor.
And exactly true. The man has 4 goals on the day. So if they, God forbid, blow this 2-goal lead, I mean that'd be a great game actually.
Nestor's shot is saved by Catalano.
Perhaps wouldn't mind that. But if they do,
I
then
don't think the fans would.
no, the home fans. But yeah, you don't want to be in a situation where you have to find a goal right away with this Hornets offense that's kind of slow and a meandering pace, perhaps. You could say.
Especially also when your star player, Jack Shanley, has been kind of a non-factor in this game.
Yeah, non-factor I think is an understatement. He's coming off a 5-goal, 1-assist game, and then versus Baldwinsville 3 games ago he had 4 goals. So I mean he's definitely got a hot hand when he's scoring, but today he's got ice cold hands.
What do you think it's been the reason? What has Pittsford done that has slowed down the hot hand? And Shanley
Just
has it up in front.
Keeping someone near him at all times. He's kind of been low on like around X, not in X, but around X, and just always keeping an eye and being aware of where he is, because they're definitely paying more attention to him, and it's as a result he's not getting open looks. Even that shot wasn't really that open.
It was not open at all. It's now Di Giovanni with it, trying to make something happen. We're a little less than halfway through this final quarter, 6:35 remaining. Pittsford needs a goal soon. They can't have, because Fayetteville-Manlius, they probably drew off, at least 3 minutes on that one possession alone. Can't take too long here. Tomaliaris driving, looking for something. Goes behind. Just waiting for someone to call him for an ISO. Shot saved by Van Valkenburg. Good save right there. And it will remain Pittsford ball. As play resumes. Cross. Now light screen from Strouff.
Pittsburgh intriguingly bringing a second player into X, which is something they haven't done all game, to set picks for cross.
Wild shot by Di Giovanni goes high. Yeah, that's an interesting strategy right there. I think simply because you just want to spread the ball out a little bit more, give more options. You're down 2 here. You need to change something. As a wild pass will be, it'll be a push off Pittsford. It will remain Fayetteville ball. When you're jockeying for position along that midfield line, you got to be careful. But
You're not only walking the line on the field, but it's a fine line walking between a push in the back and just boxing someone out. And luckily, Mike Howell gets pushed in the back there if you're the Hornets, and comes away with possession.
yes, did not. He knew he had someone on him and just stuck with it. Howell with it. He's got 2 goals, I believe, in this half alone. He had a very nice third quarter. Started the 4th quarter. So he gave the Panthers 2-goal lead. Kramer with it. Got 1 goal on the game. See if we can tack on one more for a guy who's held the ball a lot this game. If they were to keep an individual player, time possession, him and lose. As he loses it, Catalano.
Tried to split the defenders there and found the hole, but just couldn't get a clean shot off.
Defender got his stick in there. His cross finds. Oh, what a save by Van Valkenburg. Dumont had a wide open one-on-one opportunity to the goal, and Van Valkenburg just got his leg in there.
I don't know if Van Valkenburg knew where the ball was. He just kind of jumped up and luckily hit it. But, yeah, that's a great save.
I think Dumont was a little off balance there, was falling over, and here we are now, 4:26 remaining. That is a huge play for Fayetteville.
That would have been huge if they had found the goal there for Pittsford. Make it a 1-goal game, but now you're down 2. The Hornets going to walk this over to the offensive end and kill another 2-3 minutes. And man, if you're a Pittsford fan, you really wish that goal went in.
If you are a Pittsford fan, you are screaming at your computer, what the heck just happened? That's one of those moments where if you're watching any other sport and you're a fan of the team that couldn't get the ball to go in the goal, net, hoop, whatever you want to call it,
You just
baffled.
You just sit there in awe. He legitimately, I don't think, knew where the ball was, but he somehow made the save, which is extremely impressive.
Hey, you don't need to know where it is. You just need
True.
you need to stop it.
If it works, it works.
It works. It worked indeed. This defensive intensity is being ramped up on both ends of the field. Fayetteville's got to be careful. They've been very penalty happy in this game.
Yeah, you don't want to give away something dumb here.
Do not want to give anything careless. Is in Berja trying to post up. He's getting double teamed. I mean, someone's wide open.
Yeah, Zach Conley came over for the help and put some extra pressure.
And the fans loved it, the fact that the defensive pressure is getting ramped up on that one. Williars nearly loses it. 2:58 remaining. He's been saying it this whole quarter. The offense needs to start going. Can't have a wild shot like that on DiGiovanni. Remain Pittsford ball, however.
Yeah, the Hornets on defense, they're sticking to their guns. They're staying low and not allowing anything inside. No cutters inside, no entry passes. It's all been really long range, kind of slightly off balance passes, and that's a great block.
Great block by Luke Strandon on the Harrison cross feed. Nearly, and it is stolen by DiGiovanni trying to make a cross the field pass.
Yeah, that was kind of a dumb pass, but that was a great defensive play.
Yeah. DiGiovanni. I think what's key for Fayetteville here, they just got to be fundamentally sound on the defensive end. They can't be they got to play defense with their feet, stay in front of their guy. They can't be overly swinging their sticks, because that will allow for either a penalty to occur or a player to have a one-on-one opportunity with the goalie. And Berja trying to make something happen. Dishes it off. Dumont. Cross behind the goal, excuse me. Flag is out. Probably against Fayetteville. It'll be interesting to see what it is. I'd just fire a shot here if I'm Pittsford, and they
That's
do.
exact.
Little wide, though.
I think the foul here might be on Luke Stratton, maybe.
1 minute penalty. That will go against Luke Stratton. That's huge.
This is big if you're the Panthers. You need a goal here.
It is a releasable penalty, so if the Panthers score, they'll go back to all square on the field. But Panthers, they need a goal. 1:46 remaining.
This is it, really.
If they don't score and this penalty gets drawn all the way out, you're inside a minute, still down 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is massive. If you're the Hornets, you got to buckle down. Everybody play simple defense and
Lock up.
just own your own space.
Exactly. Just know what. Do your job. It's cross. Just it to Dumont. Shot scored. What a rip by Ryan Dumont, the Section 5 All-Tournament team a year ago, going to Oswego next year, and he makes it a 1-goal game with 1:30 remaining.
And now, if you're the Panthers, Van Valkenburg, after his reaction there, I mean, he didn't move his stick, and I don't think he ever saw that goal. And he turned around, and when his teammates came over, he pointed to the sun, which is got kind of a very low angle. So I don't think he can see from that one angle. So if you're the Panthers, take notice of that and shoot from the far side on the wing.
That is crucial. The sun is starting to set a little bit. It is right in, looking at a mirror, it is right beaming onto the jersey of Van Valkenburg. Be interesting if Pittsford notices that, or they just.
I mean, that'd be huge. If he
changing.
can't see from that one angle, you got a minute and a half. You rip a few shots from there and just see what happens.
Hope for the best. But the face-off is briefly controlled by Fayetteville. Now the ball is back on the ground, picked up by Pittsford. And a timeout is called by Pittsford.
Yep. That's exactly what you want.
Great awareness by Pittsford. So here we are, 1:13 remaining. Tyler Melito with Tate Sigworth alongside here. Tate, minute to go. What are you doing if you're Pittsford?
Well, I'm just trying to get a clean shot, really. A lot of their shots so far in the second half have been kind of like riding the pressure from the defender and then kind of like jumping up on some 1-foot kind of garbage shot, which is not a high percentage shot at all. I would look to go down through X with Harrison Cross, see if you can create a good passing angle And then I imagine the shots coming from Sonny Bergia, because he's played very well all day and has frustrated a lot of Hornets defenders. So I imagine he's going to get this next shot.
Cross has created a lot of opportunities for Pittsford. And if you're Fayetteville, you're going to be on the defensive end coming out of this timeout. What are you saying to your squad if you're Doug Madden?
Just stay low and tight, as they have pretty much all game. They haven't really been allowed Pittsford to spread themselves out and open up spaces in front of net, which has really been crucial in keeping Pittsford to only 6 goals. And if they want to keep it to 6 goals, they got to keep doing that same thing, not allowing anything inside in front of Van Valkenburg, because, I mean, obviously that's the most dangerous area, and that's incredibly hard for him to stop.
It will be interesting to see what unfolds if things hold. Fayetteville will get the win. They will go to 6-1 on the year. Pittsford will fall to 4-4. Being 4-4 almost halfway through the year, that's not something where you want to be.
No, especially not for this Pittsford team that comes from the past 4 years, or 4 of the last 5 years. They've been in championship games, and if you're 4-4 in the middle of the year, it's not where you want to be at all.
High standard of winning as we're inside the final 50 seconds of this game. Cross behind the goal. And he'll take himself. Great save by Van Valkenburg. That's his second really good save. Huge for Fayetteville in this 4th quarter.
Yeah, absolutely massive. He's come up with 2 big saves, and we were sitting there questioning, hey, should we have left Ben Hammond in?
I think Coach Madden made the right decision.
I think he made the right decision, too. He's come up with 2 big saves, and 2 big saves. It's a 2-goal game right now, Tyler.
2-goal game, or 1-goal game, excuse me, 8-7. 28 and a half seconds remaining. Fayetteville will have the ball. And now here we are. Pittsford is going to have to be extremely aggressive.
Yeah, Hornets teammates coming over to swarm Van Valkenburg because, I mean, they know. I mean, he knows, too, and so does Pittsburgh. He's come up huge in some crucial spots and gotten some crucial stops for this team when they've needed them.
Van Valkenburg, he's shown that I am a really good goalie. I as in him.
Yes, sir.
I'm not a very good goalie, but he is a very good goalie for the squad. Junior, so it's him and Ben Hammond. Both are the goalies for the squad. They're both juniors. And I like Coach Madden's strategy here.
It works.
Switching off between tasks because both guys are very different, but they both get the job done.
And you see it sometimes in some sports. If you have 2 players that bring different things to the table and are equally good, and you trust them as much, you kind of give them equal playing time. Because, I mean, if you're a Pittsford attackman, and you know that you start shooting at Ben Hammond and you shoot at him for the first 2 quarters, and you're like, oh, he can't guard low stick side. Then you have 2 quarters more to shoot on him. But it takes time to figure out those kind of tendencies on goalkeepers, where their weaknesses are. So by not allowing Pittsford to get settled shooting at one goalkeeper and rotating each quarter, it's definitely an advantage, and it's definitely helping Fayetteville.
Definitely helping indeed. If you're looking at Fayetteville, they'll have possession coming out of the timeout. Obviously, their goal is to be milking the clock as much as they possibly can.
Definitely.
But who do you want with the ball in their hand? You can look at guys like Jordan Lewis and Max Kramer, who held the ball the majority of the game here.
Yeah.
Zach Nestor's got 4 goals, and then you got your star player in Jack Shanley, who hasn't done much in this game, but still got to rely on him a little bit, one would think.
Yeah, still very competent with the ball, and Jordan Lewis and Max Kramer have been kind of point guards, if you will, for this Fayetteville-Manlius offense. So I imagine for the Hornets on offense, you'll see more of them.
Am I seeing this correctly, that they have Catalano pulled out of the goal?
Yeah.
With Howe with it.
We got an empty
team.
net.
Somebody's got to get in the goal here, because if they get a shot out of 20 seconds remaining and a whistle blown.
I think Hornets timeout. I don't think they exactly expected Catalano to come out of net, but he was 5-10 yards just playing man defense pretty much.
Interesting strategy. If I know it personally, I would have seen, if I saw that, I would have just shot it. But you know what? Props to Zach Howe here. And the reason,
Kill some time.
Kill some time indeed. You could, if you shot that ball could easily have been turned over to Pittsford. They could have had a fast break and an opportunity to score. But we said it before, you don't want to be the guy that makes the hero, trying to make the hero play when you're up. You just want to make the smart play, and that's what Zach Howe did.
Yeah, they're just focused on playing free and easy pretty much. kill some time before you shoot at an empty net or try to shoot an empty net. Because, I mean, you could miss and cause a turnover, and who knows, Pittsford goes down and scores in the last 20 seconds of the game. But just because you were trying to be selfish and get that goal to put you up 2 with 16 left. So
That would have been a hat trick for Zach Cal if that miraculously went in.
it would have. It was also he was being double teamed. That's
That's That was crucial. I think if he was single team, I would have been gripping and ripping all day.
Yeah, was not given too much room to breathe there. Was getting bodied pretty hard.
So 16 seconds remaining. This is going down to the wire. I'm getting goosebumps. That might be because of the wind or just the intensity of this game. And
It's definitely the
Catalano's still
intensity.
not standing in goal.
Yeah, he's 10 yards out of net, playing legitimate man defense.
Ball is on the goal line extended as Lewis breaks away. Inside 10 seconds remaining. Clock will continue to tick down, so it looks like
He's running
at
in
the end of it all, Fayetteville-Manlius wins 8-7 over Pittsford. They'll go to 6-1. Pittsford falls to 4-4. Tate, overall, what do you take away from this game?
Well, Fayetteville both teams came into this game on a 2-game winning streak. Fayetteville obviously now on a 3-game winning streak and staying hot, improves to 6-1, as you said, Tyler. But that was just a nice team win. You know, they stuck to their guns. They stuck to their game plan. They didn't allow themselves to get thrown off or out of their comfort zone all game. They slowed it down on offense when they had to, pushed it once or twice in transition when they felt comfortable enough to, but they didn't get into situations where I guess they didn't like, if you will. They were in control of this game, really just for all 3 quarters except for the second, which ended up being mostly Pittsford, as that's when they went on their run, scored 5 unanswered starting into the 3rd quarter. So, I mean, that's a great win if you're the Fayetteville-Manlius Hornets.
And ultimately, who would you crown as your player of the game, if you will?
I think the choice is pretty clear. I think you could make an argument for Jack Van Valkenburg for his 4th quarter efforts, considering this ended up being a 1-goal game. But yeah, it's got to be to Zach Nestor for his 4 goals. You don't see that all the time. He's coming off a 5-point game, 2 goals and 3 assists versus Liverpool. So he's got the hot hand. He knew that coming in today, and I mean he was shooting. And props to him. 4 goals, that's not easy.
Not easy at all, indeed. So at the end of it all, Fayetteville-Manlius wins 8-7 over Pittsford. Shout out to Ben Shep, our cameraman and producer for today's game. If you for all things CNY Stream, follow us on Twitter at CNY Stream. Go to cnystream.com for Tate Stickworth. I'm Tyler Melito. Have a great day, everybody.